Hello everyone and welcome. We're back still here in Daytona. A little bit of different. We're going to go left and right for the Chris Pendell wrecked on lap 2 150K race for the HTL Hammer Down Truck Series, or also the Daytona Beach 125 here on ABN1, whichever one you feel like calling it. These names always give me a chuckle every week. But anyway though, I should probably introduce who I am. I am Kevin Young. I am the commentary here tonight, and as the last couple weeks, it's still the same thing. Styx Pulsatrix joins me as she will be operating the cameras and giving us the beautiful angles to show us around this road course here. And right now we are in the thick of qualifying. 10-minute qualifying session, same rules as usual in the HTL Cup Series. The Cup Series Truck Series, 1 lap for each driver, and right now most of the drivers are on their warm-up lap right now. Almost every driver of be-all, end-all is currently out there at the moment. We're following Patrick Overstat in the 8 truck. He'll try to lead us to the promised land here, as he is going to come around here and start his flying lap here as he comes off of 4. Going to take the little chicane. It's not the Rolex 24 layout, it's the NASCAR layout, where there's a little chicane right here in the last corner, and then you'll set it back to the high banks to start your first lap. So as Overstat comes off last corner, we'll get a nice little onboard shot of him, and he'll kind of give us a lap around here indirectly to show us what you'll have to do to try to put down a decent lap here at the Daytona road course. So harden the brakes going into 1. Want to get that apex hit just nicely. Don't let it roll too much. Obviously, these trucks are not going to have as much downforce as other GT3s and other things that go around this thing. It's going to be a bit of a handful to get this thing to wheel around a corner, but the low power will at least play out a little bit to make sure this thing doesn't spin as much. And you probably want to. Nice little exit right there by Stefan Oberstadt as he keeps this thing running. We'll get a nice little top pick shot of him. Nice little helmet shot as well. So we'll head off here right into the, actually got the wrong driver up there for a second. He now heads into the carousel here to set him up, coming up nicely back to Old Daytona right after this corner right here. Obviously, it was only 6 minutes in the session, and a lap being quite long around here in the trucks. It's going to be, you have to kind of leave the pit lane very early to put down a competitive time here, because if you do make a mistake before you take your first lap, you can obviously tow back to the pit lane, go back and take a second chance at it before it happens. But if you make a mistake on your quality run, like right now, let's say Stefan Oberstedt invalidates, goes wide, makes a mistake going to the bus stop, then it's going to be not game over per se, but he'll have a not good qualifying run to show for it. So he's got to make sure he keeps it on the edge, but still fast if you want to start to the front, up through the bus stop here. Take some nice liberties here, go right through the corner, nice and smooth, close as you can get to those curves without mounting them. And he'll set off 3 and 4, about to finish his lap. Just one more little chicane to navigate, and he'll be lap done for the 8 truck, and we'll see where he slots. Other cars worth noting on a lap right now at the moment are Angel Santiago, Alfred Denny, John Hagan, Lilac Zier, Martin Roberg, Eli Sasick, Callie Height, who's about to finish her lap. So it's Oberset who mixed up the last corner here. We'll see where he slots in here. Callie Height crossed the line first. She will slot it with a 2-minute lap time on the nose. Can that lap be beat? It looks like it's not going to be beat by Patrick Oberstadt. He will slot in while Hagan jumps to the top of the board. Oberstadt will slot in right behind P4. Ellis will go a P3, Casey Ellis. But looking at John Hagan's lap as well, cut aboard here with the 50 truck, a Lilac Zier. We'll see what she can do here. I think I will see if she is on a lap or not. She just finished her lap, and that is going to be a lap that's going to put her P that you don't even see her on the timing and scoring board. So it looks like she may have had a slight invalidation for her runs. We'll cut to Bobby Blowers here. He's about to finish his one and only lap here. Gonna have to try to beat a 156.15 that just got beaten by Joel Rodriguez, who did a 156.10. So Joel Rodriguez is now the driver to beat. The number 9 truck looking to beat the time that Blowers and the rest of the field will have to beat as other drivers begin to file in here. Oh, big mount of the curve right there. That's not what you want to do with that corner. That could hurt the suspension for starters. And secondly, going to take that lap way out of line, across the line. It's going to be P4 for Bobby Blowers. A little time there for that last chicane, but still a good lap. Looking right now to be through row number 2 if it holds. We'll cut to the 51 truck now. Looks like we'll have a quick little trading pace load up here. So the 51 obviously putting down a lap here as well. This is Joshua Gaiman, obviously filling in what is Breo's ride last couple weeks after Breo's incident at last week's race. It's now Gaiman who's filling in, so we'll see what Gaiman can do. Nice and smooth through the bus stop. He's pretty good at road courses. We've seen him throughout the calendar year have good times. We'll see what he does here across the line. Pull the stopwatch ahead. Oh, he just missed pole by 0.2, 0.02. Top three, very close here between Rodriguez, Gaiman, and Hagen. Could easily be interesting to see how they all shake up with Jones and Roberg making it the top 5. And we'll now cut to the 44 truck, a DJ Trout. One of the last drivers to yet the set of time here, with 3:30 in the session to go here. He is currently on a flying lap. The only other drivers that have not put down a time yet are on time right now to do it. Pacey Wygant, who had a purple sector 1, and Alyssa Pelletier-Sharp and Scott J. Posnensky will both come in to take their flyers. Speaking of Pacey, we'll now cut to the 00 on his chase to try to put him on the front row here. Looked good through sector 1. The rest of the times looked all right in comparison to the cars around. We'll see if he's got enough through the last corner. Has to beat a 156.10 to have a chance. Coming across the line, it's going to be a little slower. It's going to be P4, slot just behind John Hagen and ahead of his teammate Byron Jones. And now here's the 83 truck of Jonathan Adams. Right now, looking at the time, he just came out of pit lane here. And with about 2 minutes and some change to go here, I don't like the odds he'll complete it. So we'll cut to Pelletier-Sharp, who's also coming to a flyer right now, but she should have enough time with how much time's remaining in the session here to be able to get around and clean a lap. So she'll probably be one of the only drivers here to put down the time. Well, not one of the only drivers, along with DJ Trout and a few others, but she'll be the last driver to cross the line here if she can put down a flyer. Oh, good exit there. Got close to the wall, did not touch the wall. Lap still clean, so we'll see what she can do as she starts her flyer. We know she can be very strong at the road courses. We saw, if you have followed, it's not your first time here at ABN, she was very strong in the Champ Car Series at road courses. Got to pick a couple poles for that record too, but going off track like that, not going to help. Doesn't look like it invalidated the lap, but could put her in a bad spot here if she keeps relying on that too much. She's going to have to make too many mistakes. There's one mistake obviously would invalidate the lap, but also could put her in a situation where she couldn't finish the time anyway. So she has to kind of hustle this truck around here if she wants a chance to put down a good time. Nice little onboard shot here just to show you how much she's really working this thing. We'll get a nice cockpit camera here as well. See the wheel. Sharp going down the long straight here. Got a bus stop to navigate. How aggressive will she be through it is the question. Does she take and serve it, or does she think she's got a pull run and throw something in here deep? Relatively smooth, a little light-footed there. Could have been a bit more aggressive, but she'll take the chances. Could have been a bit hot as well for the entry as well, so we're all going to compromise her run here. 24 seconds to go. Comes up the last corner. She is going to be the last driver to complete here. Posnensky finished his lap, P18 for him. Now Sharp across the line with just 5 seconds to spare, and she will slot in nowhere. So it looks like it was an invalidation lap, so her time will actually not end up counting. And that will take us nicely to the end of qualifying. So as the drivers get gridded up here, obviously I think this order may change a bit here. I think some drivers may elect to start from the pit lane or elect to start from the back here. We'll see how it all shakes up, but we'll take a look at the starting grid when we get a quick second here and see where everyone's slotted up. Obviously, Joel Rodriguez, the number we got on the screen right now, he will take pole position, as we do have a little technical difficulty with the graphic. We'll see if we get it really fixed up here real nicely. But I will finish up that point. Joe Rodriguez and Joshua Gaiman, as you can see, the top three up there having a front roll. All right, so we'll try the front row again here. Joe Rodriguez and Joshua Gaiman will be on the front row. There we go. John Hagan and DJ Trout, good lap by the 44, will make up row number 2. Teammates Pacey Wygen and Byron Jones will make up row number 3. Martin Roberg and Bobby Blowers will make up row 4. Row 5, Lily Frazier and Angel Santiago. Row 6, Eli Sasick and Ruby Estes. Row 7, Alfred Denny and Callie Height. Row 8, Casey Ellis and Zach McBride. Row 9, Patrick Oberstedt and Scott J. Posnensky. Row 10, Richard O'Day and Lilac Zier. Row 11, Alyssa Pelletier-Sharp, Dean Clavitt. Row 12, Jonathan Adams and Mark Parker, getting into the drivers that did not set times. Dale Markowski and Austin Mongold, row 13. Christopher Pendell and Stefan Oberstadt, row 14. Olivia Hammond, debutante here tonight, and Michael Saccone, row 15. And Tristan Bayer will make up the last spot here in row 16 in, well, P31. That is how the field is going to shake up here tonight. Obviously, as the session is about, well, the gridding up here is about to finish up, we'll take a quick look at the current conditions. Temperature is 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree humidity, wind of the north at 2 miles an hour, and a partly cloudy racetrack. It's only going to be 35 laps. This should be a bit of a quick race. Cautions will not be thrown, as it is in the Truck Series rulebook for road courses. So cautions will not be thrown, blacks will not be cleared. So this is going to be a straight shot 35-lap race. And probably going to end up being the first race to not have any cautions, as obviously dictated in the rules. So if you make a mistake, you won't have a caution to bail you out. So you'll have to be careful and make sure you keep that truck planted and pointed in the right direction if you want to have a chance to bring home a W here tonight. So Joe Rodriguez riding on board in the cockpit. Current pole sitter. Did something not many drivers, him and Josh Gaiman, can say they didn't do. Did something that not many drivers could say they did. Beat John Hagan on a qualifying run. And they will take the front row here. As you can see the 9 decked out in the Christmas colors. Probably the last week we're going to see in the Christmas colors, as obviously the holiday will be wrapping up before we see the trucks on the track again. So hopefully he can take that festive scheme out and get a win in it, even though the rest of the field will have an answer for that. So that's pace car going to pull on in here. Green flag is out. And Daytona Beach 125 is underway here on ABN1. And look at Bobby Blowers off track right there. I was going to let the means scene play out there. Blowers had a little bit of spin along with a 38 of Austin Mongold. Two cars have had good runs the past couple of weeks. Both currently now a little bit further back. Some damage on both cars in question. But as we cut back up towards the front here, obviously Joe Arrigo was able to hold off the charge from Hagan and Wygen and Gaiman, and will have a comfortable lead here coming out of the twisty bits of the Daytona road course, with Hagan right there in tow trying to stay up. Wygen and Gaiman, one of the biggest losers, goes from the front row down to P4. Look at some of the big movers up there at the front, though. Lily Frazier up 3 spots. Callie Height up 4. And just knowing how to, and looking a little bit further back, Jonathan Adams up 6 and Sharp up 5. So it's just about playing smart here and knowing how to kind of get the lunge here. Now that you've kind of survived the opening lap chaos here for most drivers, it's now trying to get yourself into a rhythm, get yourself kind of locked down, and let the kind of race come to you. Here's Lily Frazier riding on board here. This nice little bumper camera, and now we'll get a wide shot at the 71. Getting a charge here at the moment. As they come off the last corner here, lap number 1 is going to be in the books, and it's going to be Joel Rodriguez that will lead lap number 1 with Hagan, Wygen, Gaiman, and Trout, your top 5. Onboard shot from the 9 here. You see the gap kind of right there. We know Hagan is no slouch on the road courses. Rodriguez putting up a good fight here. Nice little infield shot here. You can see the camera gyro there, showing us the angles in question. We're getting some good angles here. Obviously, not up to what Six wants to see here. Wants a little more control in her cameras, but they are quite nice shots here. Just kind of looks like we're just kind of panning around here. Some good long shots here. We do have a battle for third there, so I was just about to point it out as Gaiman will get around Wynjet. Wynjet not going to put up much of a fight here. Wants to get his own rhythm. You can see Wynjet under a bit of pressure here as DJ Trout is hounding the back here. So he tries to send something up to the bus stop here. Obviously, Wynjet got a great start there. Was able to gain 2 spots, but now falling back in rhythm could end up falling back to where he started this race if Trout decides to throw a move here. Nice onboard shot of the 44. Look at that. Maybe try to be a little aggressive there. Double Zero breaking a bit earlier. And the 44 will not take an aggressive lunge here. Feels confident enough to set up somewhere else here. A better passing zone. Looks like he may even try to get a run here off through Daytona 3. Ooh, looks like we had an incident with a few in the back there. Posnetsky just jumped to the pits there. There's a little bit of the remnants. There's the 20 of Olivia Hammond, and I think Stefan Oberstadt was also involved as well. So obviously, first car already done for the day. The 41 will pull off the track, and we'll see if we can get a replay of said incident in a second here. We'll see the aftermath right there. You can see the 56 also involved as well. Oh, maybe a separate incident. So the 20 is battling the 42 of Parkhurst. It's Olivia Hammond in the 20. Now we'll go over back. Here's 56 Clavitt, the 41 of Posnetsky. Posnetsky spun hard there, and then you can see a separate incident with the 20. So 2 separate incidents there. Obviously, Posnetsky got the biggest lick, basically killed the engine. That's day done for him. So the 20 there stationary, just kind of waiting it out, allow everyone to go by here. Then pull out almost right to the 88. Not a good re-entry. I heard him kind of say really on the radio. I was like, where does Stefan come into the situation? And there is the answer in question of what happened between the Olivia Hammond and Stefan Oberstadt. So now back to live action here. We'll cut back here to the battle for third. Gaiman trying to get getting that wheelman trophy, if you will. Trying to wheel up to Hagan and Rodriguez here. Gap is 2.2 to Rodriguez and about 1.5 to John Hagan. A little further back, Ode had a bit of an incident here. Saw him pop up in the battle box. Had a self-spin. It's got to point in the right direction, though, so he will soldier on, as now he is currently sitting back in 28th position. Obviously, road courses can be a bit tricky. Someone that is not excelled on them in any sanction other than maybe the Mazdas. It can be very hard to get these things, especially these trucks to wheel around here. So just maybe a point to try to get some good points and maybe hope some chaos happens around. So riding aboard here with the 51, just to show you how big this gap is right now. He's, again, 2.2 back of the leader, and that just shows you they don't look too far back when you think about it, but that gap looks daunting, especially when we'll see this time by looking at the laps they're running. Joe Rodriguez is going to set a purple lap last time by, this time by a purple lap by John Hagan. So Hagan just had the fastest lap of the race. And out of the 3, Joe Rodriguez is technically the slowest with a 156.54 for his troubles. And a slowest out of the 3 of 1652 for Gaiman and a 156.40 for John Hagan. As we see right now, battle for the lead as Hagan taking that run of the purple lap to try to get this lead back here. And that's also allowed Gaiman to get a nice little lunge as well. Their little battling they've happened has allowed the field to catch up just a bit and can open the door for Hagan to have a chance here to make a lunge. Right now, this is kind of the pressure on the road courses here. Is you can kind of, if you put the pressure on the car ahead of you, to maybe make a mistake. Right now, Hagan's doing that game right now. Obviously, it looks like we'll have a 2-stop in this race. Obviously, we're ways away from the first pit stop. Looking at the window for that range, it's probably going to be just after lap 10 to 12 should be where we see our 2 stops here, 12 and 24, give or take. Gotta make sure, because we've seen as well when pit stops have opened, drivers electing to take no tires or 2 tires in a strategy call. And there's the 25 of Blake Henderson. He had a bit of an incident here. Actually, that's Eli Sasek filling in what is usually Blake Henderson's machine. Looks like it may have happened between him and Callie Height. And there's the 23 of Angel Santiago having his own incident. Similar, that spot has been a bit tricky for our drivers here tonight, as Paul Znetsky, Olivia Hammond, a few others have had problems. So we'll take a look, see what happened with Eli Sasek and Callie Height. So they had a bit of a touch-up here, at least looking to see what exactly occurred. 5 in the corner, and nope. 3 didn't play any factor in that, so I do apologize for Callie. She did not have an effect in that. 25 just lost it under his own pressure. Won't hit anything. LA Knight, yeah, indeed. Nice wrestling reference by Styx there. Bringing it back to the old TNA days. But anyway, there's a 9 at Joe Rodriguez. We'll get off the wrestling talk for a second, and we'll focus on the battle for the lead. Rodriguez, Hagen, and Gaiman. 1, 2, 3 right now. You can see Hagen howling in the back of the 9 here. One to throw move. It looks like he may have a chance here. Not conventional passing wisdom, but you can see, we know John Hagen is very aggressive. If he sees a lunge and sees an opportunity, he's going to take it. And if he thinks the 9's holding him up, he's going to try to do something right there. He is definitely trying to fade to that inside. Now the question is, he trying to lead him for a dummy, or was he actually thinking about making a move there? And with a 51 now hounding the back of the 81, the pressure is on for Hagen and Rodriguez to pick it up a bit. A rear shot there. You can just see how fast these 3 are going, because you can just see that little speck in the distance, just very far back there. That's the 44 DJ Trout. He's 4.6 back of the battle we're watching right now. And that's just Trout and Roberg. And then you got Frazier, Wygant, and Jones in their little battle as well. That's 6th through 8th. So you just can see right there, as we see actually a little pass right there, almost a pass there, is Joe Rodriguez going to play defensive and hold off situation here. But it's not fun when you have a car holding in your mirrors like that, putting you in pressure to try to make you make a mistake. As they come off of 4 here, we'll see exactly what happened. Well, not see what actually happened here. We'll see if Hagen can get a good run here. We'll see the lap times here and see, again, how fast Hagen is compared to Rodriguez. As you can see, he's very aggressive in those corners. So as they come across the line here, we'll get our stopwatches open here, and it's going to be dead even with Rodriguez and Hagen, a 158.02 flat for both, but Josh Gaiman the fastest, a 157.67 out of the cars in the top 3. Got a little wide there by the 9, just a tiny bit. When you're focusing on tenths around this racetrack, any little mistake could spell doom and gloom. A little bump by Josh there, just a tiny bump. Telling kind of Hagen, get going, or else I'm going to pass you. He's doing enough. Kind of look. Yep. Looks like, according to what I'm seeing, Addithans went off track. So we had a little incident where he went off the race surface. We'll cut back to him real fast, see exactly what happened with him. Remember, running a wave of momentum after winning last week. And, thing just lost under braking. Their rear brakes kicked out. Luckily, loops it, no one around, gets on the grass before anyone comes, and re-enters safely. You'll love to see that. Now back to live action, see the 83. Now we'll cut back up to the lead, though. You can still put a paperclip between the 3 of them. Neither getting an inch, but looks like Hagen had a slightly slower bus stop, or Rodriguez went fast to the bus stop. Take your pick on which one you want to believe. But regardless, though, that's going to leave Hagen under pressure here from Gaiman. But Gaiman going to tuck back in line here. As they come across the line again, you can see the packed grandstands, the virtual grandstands, watching a ding-dong battle for the trucks as Rodriguez leads lap number 6 down to 7. It's led all laps so far tonight. And in times like these, you think if you're Hagen and Gaiman, you have to maybe sometimes pull strategy to get track position, as right now they're running dead even laps. And obviously it's going to be interesting to note when the window opens. in probably about 5-6 lap time here, there's that interesting factor of how can you strategically get your car ahead of the car behind you right now, or I guess the situation for Hagan and Gaiman and try to get around Rodriguez. What can you do to get that? Because it seems like unless the tire falls, we'll have a cut here to Callie Height right now. Callie Height currently in 8th position. Here you can see the team Pacey Wyjet making a move on Callie Height. Callie's been moving slowly towards the front. We saw her battling Eli Saska a little bit ago, just outside the top 10. Now Callie making that 3-truck move here. You can see also 31 Alyssa Peltier-Sharp joining the fray. So they both get around both teammates of the 24, so 00 and the 48. 24 is the cup number for Pacey Wyjet. The 00 and the 48 will both get past here, and both will end up losing spots here. So Height up to 7th, Sharp up to 8th. Wyjet and Jones still inside the top 10 at the moment, 9th and 10th respectively. But speaking of biggest movers, that is the car we're currently focusing on, the 31 of Alyssa Peltier-Sharp, up 13 spots. Jonathan Edmondson, next biggest mover, up 11. And it looks like we have a battle for second as Josh Gaiman just got around John Hagan going into the bus stop there. Cut to it late. I also saw it late there, was focusing on that battle. And Hagan went wide the bus stop, pulling it back myself to see what happened. Car hit the rumble stick, the big little sausage curb, and it sent him high. And Gaiman had a slight mistake as well. So both having their own little problems here. That's going to allow Joe Rodriguez a chance here. And you see another car cut in the grass. That is a 25 of Eli Sasek, who's also had a problem with the bus stop as well. And there's the 78 of Richard O'Day. Looks like he will come back on the surface here just right past turn 2. Not too far ahead of where our race leaders are right now, just for perspective. Look at Hagan getting a run off that corner, wants to take second position back, just a little too far back to make something happen there. Obviously the race is on, but right now they've lost a lot of time to Joe Rodriguez, and in turn have allowed Trout and Roberg to kind of get back up here. So the question is, do they maybe send a little bit of a truce right now to try to get back up to Joe Rodriguez and fight, or do they just fight it out now and just go for what they want to go for? Only time will tell on that answer question. Eli in the pits right now, wondering if it's a scheduled stop or an unscheduled stop. He's had a couple incidents so far tonight. We'll see if he elects to pit the machine. Tires, we'll see in a second here. I'll keep an eye on his clock as we focus on the 9 right now. Joe Rodriguez, our race leader, comfortable distance right now up ahead. Currently at all 7 laps of this race, on pace to make it 8, bearing a slight mistake here. So we'll cut back to Mark Parkhurst here, currently sitting in 15th position, just battling Bobby Blowers. Remember, Bobby Blowers had that opening lap incident. He's had a good recovery so far to get that truck back up to a top 15, but Parkhurst not going to allow too much of a challenge here, going to try to get around the 34. As they're now side by side going to the bus stop. Who will hold out the line here? Who will be more aggressive on the brakes? And it looks like Parkhurst is going to save a chance here. Hope 34 makes a mistake as he gets a little wobbly there. The rear wanted to kick out there. Parkhurst, though, not going to be able to capitalize, also checked up a bit. So they will stay in their respective positions of 14th and 15th, respectively. They're still riding a war here with 42. Right now, what can Brown do for you? Brown wants to go to 14th. So we'll go up to Kelly Height here. See her right now, still holding strong in 7th position. Alyssa Peltier-Sharp, though, not allowing that 31 a chance to really pull away there. You can see the 6th place truck, Lily Frazier, just up the road. That's about 2 seconds. So they can easily reel that car in before pit stop window opens here to have a challenge. Ooh, looks like Santiago and Oberstadt may have had a slight tiff-taff here. You can see right there the big chaos off the bus stop here, so I'm guessing for the last corner something may have happened. Right now trying to split the hairs here. Don't think that was the smartest choice. That hole was closing quickly. So we'll see a replay. It looks like I got my ear here. It's going to be the incident between Markowski and Santiago. I did see through the battle box here. See exactly what happened here. Coming through the last corner here. Oh, Santiago. Oh, yep. Tried to go for a hole that was closing. Didn't really leave the corner for the 33, and both end up touching. good sportsmanship for Santiago to kind of send apologies on the radio and also let the driver take the position. Obviously, Austin Mongol reaps the best there, takes 3 spots for the price of nothing. Patrick Oberstedt looks like he looped it just off the bus stop. Hit the last curb, car didn't like that, spun around, and looped it. So we'll go back to live action here. Right back to Angel Santiago, who's currently still just inside the top 25, currently at 22nd. And we'll cut back to what we were showing before that incident happened. Callie Height, still live action. Now we'll cut up the second position, Josh Gaiman and John Hagan. In their battle here, they were scrapping a bit here, we saw previously. And cut away, and now they're still scrapping. The good news, though, at the very least, is they are closing in a little bit on Joe Rodriguez, and we have the pit stop window open here. Roberg and Frazier both in this time by. So it looks like it may be scheduled stops for both cars. It looks like they're the only 2 at the moment. But it looks at the windows. John Hagan was very wide there. You can just see him mow the grass a bit, push it hard. That's going to cost him at least a second on track. And going to allow Trout to get a bit closer. Now it looks like the window's kind of firmly opened here. It raises the question, if you're the 51, if you're the 81, do you try something different here to try to get some track position? We'll have to see here. Or do you go long? Because obviously it's a 2-stop race. It seems to be the case of this, especially if you're pitting at 10. You're going to try to go to 10, maybe try to push it to about lap, give or take, yeah, lap 12, lap 13. I had this quick math there in my head. Just kind of safely get there. Oh, John Hagan! Way off into the tire barrier there. Thing kicked out. He hit that a ton. Ode nowhere to go as he was going wide himself. Just saw him go way wide there. No assistance, obviously. That thing just kicked out on its own. And we'll get a replay of this incident to see exactly what happened, but you kind of can see it through the far shot there. He just missed the corner, it seems. The thing just didn't slow down. So riding on board here with the 81. That thing just kicked and right into the tires. Speaking of, Hagan's coming in this time by, so it looks like he's at the end of his window. Joe Rodriguez in as well. Ruby Estes, a lot of top runners here in. DJ Trout, all in. That's a lot of damage. 6 brings up good points. There's a lot of damage where he hit the tire barrier. That thing obviously is going to have to be hammered in here to try to fix that up. But right now, race leader in, Josh Gaiman in, DJ Trout coming in as well. Top 4 all in. We'll see if Callie Height follows suit, or else she will try to lead a lap here. I've seen a second here. So yeah, that's top 4 all in at the moment. Looks like Height will stay out along with Pelletier Sharp. So they will both inherit first and second respectively. There they go on the wide shot there. 3, 4, 5 of Wygant and Jones will also stay out. The other one was a lap down machine. It was Ode, so that is the race off pit lane concludes. You see the battle for the lead here. Oh, current lead will not be the lead when it all cycles through here. But right now, Sharp trying to go a little bit wide there. Height also got a little screwy off exit, and that's going to allow a good charge here for the 31. Again, right now, they're kind of fighting. They're fighting each other, but they're also fighting Lily Fraser. But she was one of the earliest cars to pit here. She's currently in 10th position. So when it all cycles through, and when she cycled before the pit stop window, she was around 7th. As you see the rest of the major runners come in, there was Alfred Denny, Jonathan Adams, Dean Clevitt, Parkhurst, Oberstadt, Pendel, Saccone, and Markowski all in. So the majority of the field has at least made one stop so far this race. The only cars that haven't yet are Lilac Sear, Melissa Pelletier Sharp, Payson Wygant, Byron Jones, Kelly Height, and Zach McBride, to name a few, a little bit further back. And the longer they go, the more it will benefit them, because we saw most of the field came in around 10, 11, which safe to assume they can go to probably 2021, and then 21, 22, and then 33, 34. So the longer they go, in theory, the more they push it, the less they have to take on the second stop to go to finish, and maybe gain some time that way. So they're going long here, hoping to make this work here, and it looks like they're now both coming in. So Height and Sharp in. Now Wygant and Jones, will they follow suit? They will not. They will go another lap here, and they'll push it a little bit more aggressively. Obviously, The strategy they pulled last night in the Cup Series race didn't pay dividends for them, but they like trying their off-ball strategies. We know both of them are quite smart in their own rights. So we'll see if this longer stint can make this work and see what they have in store for that final pit stop of the race coming up soon. Gaiman did have an incident. Looks like he did. Him and Joe Rodriguez fighting for what would be the fact to lead to this race. And space was left. And oh, a little touchdown on the bus stop. Ugh. I don't know, because Gaiman kind of closed the hole there, and Rodriguez was right there trying to, and you see Zero trying to pit there as well. But you could see on that point, Rodriguez was there on the curb. There was nowhere else for Rodriguez to go, and they were side by side, back to live action here. So Gaiman obviously not going to be too thrilled about it. Obviously, the 9 will not be as well. The drivers not going to be too thrilled, but nothing you can really do from both drivers' perspective. So this is what our race lead is at the moment. Obviously, that will probably shake up when both pit. It will be handed off to Roberg. Will take the lead of this race with, Rodriguez, my mistake. Rodriguez, who's a second ahead of Roberg, then Trout, then Gaiman, then Frazier will be the de facto top 5 when it all cycles through here. Look at that teammate on teammate side-by-side action here. Looks like Jones will get around Wygett going through the bus stop. A little bit of a little wide there for Jones. And I assume this is going to be the lap they come in here. We've seen most of the field come in between 10, 11, 12. So it's safe to assume here, coming to 13, it's probably going to be pit stop time. So we'll cut to John Hagan here. But first, we'll see if the pit stop concludes here on this time by if they push it another lap. We'll get the indicator right here. And it looks like they are in. They are both coming in. So now that John Hagan, you can see right now currently in 8th position, right behind Lily Frazier. Okay. In situation right there playing off. And it looks like Hagan will get around for 7th. Frazier very aggressive on the brakes there. Obviously saw a very fast Hagan in the mirrors. Misjudged brakes just a bit. And ended up giving Hagan the spot there. So back up to the what are now is our race league. Joel Rodriguez currently 2.38 ahead of Martin Roberg. And DJ Trout is currently in 3rd position there, his little white truck, but he's under pressure from Josh Gaiman. Obviously, look at a quick race summary to go here. 12 of 35 laps completed, 23 laps to go. No cautions, that number will stay 0 along with caution laps. And only 2 lead changes. Joel Rodriguez obviously handed the lead off when he pitted to Kelly Height, and Kelly Height handing it off to Byron Jones. Pacey Wygett. So that's how they all will shake up through the lead changes. And now Joel Rodriguez, again, had his 2 main challengers, Hagan and Gaiman, both have little troubles of their own. Now Rodriguez trying to get some clean spelling. So here's Frazier trying to get back on Hagan. You can also see just up the road, there's a car ahead of them. 78 of Richard O'Day, currently a lap down. Not going to put up much of a fight here. Going to stay high side. Allow Hagan and Frazier to cut through. There you can see the 3rd car in line there. That's Kelly Height, who's 3 back at this battle. If they get a little bit racy, that could open the door for Height to try to get into the top 5 here. Bus stop for both drivers here. O'Day a little bit rougher bus stop. Will allow Height to get a little bit closer. Here's Lily Frazier, obviously right now. This is the last time she had a mistake this last corner here. Probably going to take the lesson she learned. We'll have a little bit more successful bus stop this time around. Wygett and Blowers having a battle here as well. Good spot by Sticks. This is currently we're watching for P12 and 11 respectively. Just outside the top 10, Jonathan M's just up the road here. There you can see him right there in that white truck. So they both can get a little bit of battle going on. They could try to catch up and get back inside the top 10. As just to show you again, with Jones and Wygett both coming in the pit lane at the same time, Jones able to stay firm in the top 10 while Wygett fell out. Now Pierce, Parkhurst, and Zier having a bit of a battle as well. This is for 13th and 14th respectively, as Parkhurst will get 13th and put Zier down to 14th, and Wygett will get firmly ahead of Blowers as they have really reeled in Jonathan Adams here. Adams another little slow start there. That's good. Yeah, probably just letting him by here, not feeling comfortable with that car at the moment. Actually, that wasn't even Jonathan Adams. That was the 88. So my mistake on that one. Jonathan Adams is a little bit up the road, a little bit further. Yeah, it was Overstat. Obviously, both having the Mossy Oak sponsorships. One being a tannish car, and one being a white car. I can always throw off the eyes a bit. So Jonathan Adams still in the top 10 at the moment, not really ailing much. Here's John Hagan. Cut to him. Currently in 5th position. Still holding down the fort here to Lily Frazier, 6th. Looking at laps last time by, just for perspective, out of the top 5, he was the slowest. Worth noting, DJ Trout, Joe Rodriguez was the fastest. DJ Trout was the 2nd fastest. Still on board here with John Hagan. Gives a nice little bumper shot of said 81 truck. Just kind of pushing the gap here. So now Zier and Parkhurst, we obviously showed that a minute ago here. Still focusing on a good battle here for 13th. Zier obviously trying to reel back in Parkhurst. Parkhurst holding strong in that 42 truck. And then you can see just how big a gap is from 14th to 15th out for Denny. And that's the thing about these road courses here. You have to be smooth, calm, and collective. And if you have a poor quality, or if you come from the back, especially in series that don't run cautions on road courses, or they don't come out very often, it's very hard to get a bunch up or an equalizer. So because of that, it allows, if you get a poor start, you're gonna have to play recovery the whole rest of the race. Six brings up a good point. Lilac is short-sifting a bit here, maybe to save a bit of fuel. Just check here, she came in on lap 11, earlier than Parkhurst, note, but we know that from what you can really save to get this car to go through, you can probably make it looking at what Wyges we see here, the battle between Trout and Roberg for 2nd. So we'll let this battle play out here. So just try to finish my thought here with Wyges coming in at 12. If you came in at lap 12, you can go to about 24 to get there, and then obviously 24 to 36 will be the finish. But if you came in earlier, you got to save at least a little bit of fuel to comfortably get yourself into that one more stop strategy here. Trout trying to make a move on Roberg. Roberg holds defensively through the bus stop. Remember, Trout is one of the faster trucks on track. He's running similar times to Joe Rodriguez. And for perspective, Roberg's ran a 159 last time by in comparison to Trout and Rodriguez's 157. So Rodriguez, Trout, if he wants to have a charge here on Rodriguez, has to try to get around Roberg quickly here if he wants to try to get up that 6-second gap to Rodriguez. Turn this little bit of this checkup has allowed Gaiman to kind of start closing the gap a little bit too. 3 seconds back of what we're currently watching here, currently in 4th. That's a line right there, going just a tad wide, could allow Trout a chance here. Trout senses blood in the water, gonna make a move here, going to this corner. Has the inside line nicely. Can he get the power down on exit? And he can successfully. So put Trout up the 2nd, Roberg down the 3rd. As the 2nd and 3rd spot on the podium shake up a little bit here. So we'll cut a little bit back here, just inside the top, just outside the top 5 with Height currently in 6th, Lily Frazier in 7th. Height obviously got around Lily Frazier. Frazier was just battling Hagan for a top 5. Now falling back down to 7th. And we know Height and Sharp, 2 fast cookies in their own right. With one getting around the 71, it may not be too long for Sharp joins this fray. Obviously just a 2nd back of Lily Frazier. So battle could be brewing there for 7th. Okay, just to show you how big that gap is, right there, that truck leaving the bus stop right now, that is Joe Rodriguez, and obviously we just saw Trout enter the bus stop. Just shows you how big of a 7-second, now the 7 seconds, how big a 7-second gap is right there. You can see, yeah, Gaiman getting around Ode here. Obviously Ode not having a good night here at the very least. A couple laps down, 3 to be exact. Just trying to get out here and get some good owner points. And maybe a few other cars retired, because a good chunk of the field, not a good chunk, but at least some good cars have retired here. Looking to see how exactly it is right now. we have 24 cars on the lead lap. Stefan Oberstadt first, 1 lap down. O'Day last the running. So 26 cars running with Estes, Stastic, Hammond, and Poznanski all behind the wall. Here's Christopher Pendel in the 94. Currently in 16th position, challenging Alfred Denny in that yellow machine right there, yellow red machine, trying to get into the top 15. Ooh, look at the 88 there. That's Stefan Oberstadt with a slight mistake there off track. Obviously 1 down at the moment. Which cars will get around him. Now he will now go 2 down for his troubles. We're going to save for entry right between where Gaiman is, right between Gaiman and Hagen. There's Angel Santiago also having a bit of a trouble as well, just near the bus stop section. Currently, the 23 is currently in 19th, still in the top 20, but with that mistake could allow Dale Markowski to get a little bit closer here. But back to Denny and Pendel. Again, battle just for the top 15 at the moment. That Jurassic Park machine trying to hang on to the 15th position. I've got Chris Pendel and Dean Clavitt right there hogging up the mirrors. 2 strong trucks trying to get in the top 15. Only one of these 3 trucks will get successfully in the top 15. And you can see there, Pendel going to take the inside. Denny not going to have much of a defense. Pendel going to clear. And oh, Dean Clavitt has still spin there trying to keep up with him. He'll fall a little bit further back adrift in 17th. And Denny not going to have much of a charge here, so it is going to be Pendel in top 15 and Clavitt 16. As Hagen and Height having a nice battle here. Gaiman just a little bit up the road here, actually getting close to Roberg, so it's about a 5-second gap between the 2 of them. And Hagen and Height having a good showdown here for the top 5. Remember, Height came in the second of the latest of the stints of drivers that came in. Obviously, Wygant and Jones came in the latest. Height and Sharp came in the second latest. And obviously, those fresher tires by a lap playing into dividends here, allowing Height to kind of just drive her way up for the field here. And she's got her eyes set on a top 5 here. Remember, Sharp also, you can see in the distance right there, got around successfully Lily Frazier. Lily Frazier about 4 back of this battle we're watching right now. So they successfully are now 6 and 7 comfortably. And trying to make top 5. Bobby Blowers pitted in. So he came just pop my battle block. Currently in 12th position, so driver that was inside the top 10. And we're getting close to that window opening because we saw them come in at lap 10. And now with 18 to go here, we're opening up the second window here. Ooh, see some smoke there. Looks like it's the 28 of McBride, though, so it's not relevant as the car going a lap down here. As you can see, he'll get out of the way here for the other 2. But it just shows you that also Gaiman and Roberg having a good battle here, too. You see the gap not too far away either. There's Roberg in question. There's Gaiman in that black machine right there. So 2 tough battles here between Roberg and Gaiman, Hagen and Height. And I think we see a pit stop window opening up for Roberg. And if he is, I think he said he's coming in. We'll see if he proves that right or wrong here. It's a bit hard to tell on his radio call. But if he is coming in, it's a bit early to make it to the end of the race here. So he's setting up for one more pit stop, it seems. There's the 37 black and pink machine, 2 clear of Gaiman at the moment, 3 back of Trout. There's the 8 truck of Patrick Oberstadt, has a little spin for his own trouble. And I think Callie Height's about to make a move on John Hagen here. Looked like Height had a good run on Hagen. Not enough, and I was correct. You'll see here on the right of the screen here, Roberg going to be pulling in the pit lane here. Roberg and Gaiman in. So they both kind of threw up the white flag and said, we cannot make it on a last stop. We can't make it to the finish here on this pit stop. We're going to pit here and take one more quick stop and go to the end and hope the rest of the field can't make it as well. And if that's the case, it makes me wonder if drivers like Jones, Wygant, Height, Sharp, who pushed it to the limit of the tank, can they make it on one more stop? And right there, Sticksmaker's a good point. Obviously, we saw Hagen tap the tires when he made that mistake before he came in and pitted. And you can still see a lot of visible damage on that 81 truck. As you can see, very sideways, still pushing to the limit to keep that truck ahead of Callie Height, who's got the tire advantage here. Oh, look at that. Hagen trying to get around the lap cart, and along with Height and along with Sharp. Very slippery indeed. both will get successfully around here. Sharp can have a little bit more trouble getting around. Look at that run. Height's getting through. I think Height's setting up for something here through the bus stop. Hagen pushing very hard to try to keep that car ahead here. Obviously burned up himself a bit here, just trying to will that truck and keep it in the top 5 at the moment. Obviously third right now. This would be de facto last spot on the podium until the pit stop cycles through. You can see Height, not much of a fight she can put up here. She'll get around successfully. Hagen gonna go deep, try to get a good lunge off, but you can just see the ill effect of that tires. Now that should allow Sharp a chance to get a run through. Hagen mounts the bus stop a little aggressively here. And Hagen coming in this time by as well. Tires have hit their limit. You can just see how much he is sliding. And he'll be in as well. Sharp will now sneak around the outside here. So as Hagen comes in this time by. Obviously, again, not really what he wanted to hit for a number here. So we'll cut to Joe Rodriguez. Obviously, we haven't covered much of him after he's gotten that distance. 7 clear DJ Trout has led almost every lap so far tonight. Obviously, did not lead the laps. He obviously came in for his service and the pit stop cycle through. Putting on a dominating performance right now at the moment at 9 truck. And again, looks like the window's open a bit, but again, some drivers are going to try to push it here. See Hagen and Parkhurst also in as well. Hagen already in, Parkhurst coming in, I should say. But with 16 to go, if you're pitting now, you're not going to make it to the finish, especially on the tires. But it makes me wonder if, again, if you can get to 12. We saw a stint with drivers. There's DJ Trout, by the way, we'll cut to him in a second. But if you're a driver that can maybe make it to 13, 12, maybe 11, there's a chance you can probably get to the finish without pitting again. But for the cars pitting, obviously, look at how bad John Hagen was sliding that truck. New tires were definitely a necessity for him, or else he would have fallen like a stone. So he's definitely taking, he wants the tires instead of that. Looks like Stefan Overset may have had an incident as well, obviously. Right now, he's a little bit further back here, a couple down. Let's see what's actually happening here. Here's John Hagen leading the pits, by the way. Does he lose on his own, or does he get some help? Way too deep, and roasted tires. Looks like our... Almost hit Ode, who also had his own little incident as well. Back to live action. I could pit right now. Trout is coming in this time by along with Joe Rodriguez. To our top 2 all in. You can see Rodriguez already in, and Trout, you see right there at the front of your screen, Trout also in as well. So this is going to be probably leading up to one more pit stop here. Probably for most of the field here. His tires have not hit the limit or the fuel they need to get there successfully. Height and obviously Sharp both stayed out the second longest, so they'll obviously go another lap here. See a green car coming on pit lane. That is Stefan Overset. But looking at some of the information here, Height, Sharp, Jones, Adams just came in. So Height, Sharp, Jones, Wygant, only 4 of them not yet pitted yet, and they were the ones that went the longest last time. So they're going to try to go a little bit longer here. Obviously, I think hitting 12 is out of the question here, but how long they can stretch it would be indicative of what they need. So here's Gaiman right now, going to try to get the launch. Obviously, he had the better outlap here. Can he get around Trout? He can successfully. So put Gaiman up to de facto second when the pit stop cycle concludes here. Trout will now be in third. There's Wygant, who's yet to make a stop, currently in 7th. So we're 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th for watching. Roberg in 8th right now, going to try to get around Wygant on his old tires. I don't think Wygant's going to put too much of a fight here. I say that, yet he's going to try to get the lunge here. We'll see how aggressive Roberg wants to be. Roberg going to back it down here. Doesn't want to end up making a mistake here. He knows he's got the fresher tires. Doesn't want to force himself into an issue where he spins and ruin a top 10 run. And around he will go. So Roberg will be up 7th. Wygant now down 8th. There's Gaiman right now, currently in 5th position. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the numbers of Height and Sharp right now. It's 15 to go. I've not seen him yet commit to a pit stop here. There's 8th year Jonathan Adams right now. Let's see, right. Looks like he had a mistake here, so we'll see exactly what happened. Already you can see the tail end of said mistake. Went deep on the brakes. And back on the surface. Not too much of a mistake here. Back to live action, though. Yeah, Jonathan Adams just trying to get a good finish here. There's Gaiman again. Gaiman and Trout, that's 5th and 6th respectively on the track at the moment. There's Byron Jones in 4th. Remember, he's not pitted yet either. Looks like, I think, Height and Sharp are... No, they're not coming in yet. They're staying out a little longer here. 14 to go. They're going to try to make this to 12, I think, is their call here, along with Jones and Wygin. If that's the case, I think there's a chance Height and Sharp could pull the master stroke here. As you can see, Gaiman getting around Byron Jones to put Gaiman up to 4th. Obviously, Trout and Wygin also doing a good job as well if they can hit that number, but they are currently in 5th and 8th, respectively. We'll see where they can cycle through. But we know most of the field we're watching, Gaimans, Joe Rodriguez, Robergs, they all have to come in more time to see Trout getting around Jones as well. They all have one more pit stop in their barracks, if my math is correct. Obviously, the longer, again, Height and Sharp, Jones and Wygin can make it, they can make it to the finish here on one last stop. There's a little shot through the carousel right there. You can see Gaiman and Trout still not letting this battle go here. Trout, remember, was one of the fastest trucks on track in the top 3 last stint. There's Zach McBride. They're going to try to navigate around here. Trout going to get just a bit held here. Going to try to split the middle. I think Trout's sensing up a move here. He knows he's got a bit of a faster truck here, and with Rodriguez getting away, Trout's going to sense the pressure here, maybe try to make a move on that Woodchuck Cars Cider 51. Yeah, Gaiman pushing hard there. Santiago and Oberstadt had a bit of an incident here. There's Oberstadt. Oh, we have our race leaders in. Height and Sharp both in. That's going to allow the 9 to take the lead here. And then that raises a question at the very least. Is see, Hagen make a move on the 00. No love lost there. Obviously, both drivers not too thrilled with each other the past couple weeks. And looks like that definitely not going to help kill the tensions at the very least. That's going to put Hagen up to 6th, Wygin down to 7th. And now it raises the question. When Jones and Wygin probably going to come in this time by, I feel not comfortable, but I feel like they will make it to the finish without having to pit again. The question is, do Height and Sharp, there's the 83 of Jonathan Adams having another spin here. Just from bad to worse here. Really in 12th position. Shows that he was really pushing hard. He had a fast sector 1 right there, so he was trying to get a fast lap there or something. Very traffic. There's Roberg making a move here on the 48 of Byron Jones. Over Jones is trying to make it to that far window here. Now Jones will slot back into 5th position. But yeah, no, this is going to be interesting. Because the 9, the 48, and the 00 are going to be comfortable to make to the finish here. The 3 and the 31 are close. I don't know if they have the range. It looks like Stefan Roberts had to jump the pits for something. Obviously, it's having to be a rough night. We'll see if he may have had a terminal lick here if he decided he had enough. Riding on the high wall here. We'll see exactly what happens going into 1. And it looks like he just... Yeah, he just pulled behind. Obviously having a rough night, couple laps down. Got the half distance, was comfortable, and just said, it's not worth me struggling anymore here. Bringing it back next week, New Hampshire. But anyway, back to live action here. That's Gaiman currently in 2nd. Open up a bit of a gap on Prout. There's Joe Rodriguez lapping the 8 truck here at the moment. He's got a bit of lap traffic here. Looks like Wygin is in. Jones may have missed his box because of how he hit the bus stop there. The question is, Joe Rodriguez will have to pit again. Obviously, you see on the pace the board here. Wygin coming in this time by. Jones was maybe trying to pit that time by, couldn't make it. Going to go one more down here. We'll see if that played an effect or not. Obviously, he got really off exit, so we'll see. He's going one more lap here. He'll now fall down to 7th. Pelletier passes Jones, so if they both can make it to the finish here, Sharp looking poised to maybe take this win if the 331 can make it. Looks like Height may have had a bit of pit stop trouble too, looking at lost about a second. Obviously, she's not as close as she was to 31 before pit stops occurred. Obviously, 3 was ahead of 31. Back to Gaiman here, and Trout fighting for de facto second. Trout trying to close up on Gaiman. Gaiman still holding strong in second. Wide shot there, Trout. A good drive for the 44. Right now at the moment, looking to try to cap off a podium or even a second position if you can get a good run that 61. Obviously, it was 12 laps to go, though. Oh, spin there! Who was that just spun? Looks like it was Dale Markowski. We'll get it re-going there. Yeah, it was Dale Markowski. Keep it going. Parkhurst and Adams, I believe that is. Yep, that's Adams and Parkhurst. That is currently the battle for 11th here. Wygen just up the road, and now Byron Jones coming in. So Byron Jones has made his pit stop right now. Again, safe to assume Jones can make it to the finish as he pits right now. Here's 24 making a move. I'll have to hold that thought. Big lunge there. Gonna door the 51 a bit. 51, not gonna be too thrilled about that, getting used up like that. We'll see what Trout does here. And Gaiman, obviously Gaiman now knows, all right, that's how you want to race me. Game on. Obviously, he won't send him, but he's going to be just as aggressive. Yeah, Gaiman very loose here. Gaiman's still going to try to hang it around the high side here. 44 going to stay clear, so the 44 will keep second for now. Gaiman trying to get the life out of these tires here because he knows he's got one more stop here. Have to come in one more time, so trying to get as hard as he can here, because like we know there's no cautions coming, so most drivers will pit when the window opens to try to get the fresh tires, but obviously we've seen the run go about 10 laps comfortably on a set of tires depending on how aggressive you have. And also, out of Gaiman's own words, he has a little bit of damage, so that truck may not be 100% optimal in his few little battles and bumps he's had throughout this race. Still on board with the 51. Gaiman really loose here. See if Gaiman can answer back. This is one of the closest battles we have on track. Obviously, Joe Rodriguez 9 clear of this battle, about to be 10 seconds. Probably next closest we have on track, you could probably argue outside this would be Broberg, Hagan, and Sharp, but that's a bigger interval than this. This is what we're focusing on at the moment. And what could be the battle for the podium here. Ooh, John Hagan just got around Roberg. Roberg got held by some lap traffic. A little further back there, you can see Hagan gets around, so now Hagan up the 4th, Roberg down the 5th, and Sharp there in 6th, so bit of a checkup. There's Dale Markowski also in the tire barriers right there. He was kind of in that fray too, a lap down. I wonder if he played a bit of a factor in this. But now Sharp, remember, has the freshest tires out of the 3. She knows she's sending it because she knows she's got to get ahead here and keep the gap close, because she knows she will cycle out with the lead when the rest of these cars pit, and she needs as big of a gap as she can have in order to ensure if she tries to go to the distance, she needs as big of a gap as she can get. And right now, being 19 seconds to Joe Rodriguez, she knows she has to get going here. She can't sit behind the 37 and the 81. She needs to get clean space, clean track, and try to keep that gap big here. She gets another good run. Robert mounts that curve there, going to lose a little time. And you can just see that tire advantage here playing out nicely for that 31. Obviously, this corner's been a bit tricky for Hagan. Dean Klavich had an incident too here. We'll see exactly what happened to 56. Current points leader. Ooh, thing did it not just spin, or did he get just spun on his own? Luckily, doesn't hit anything. Gets back on the race surface with not too much time lost. There's Josh Gaiman. He's in. He is. We saw how bad those tires are. There's the 31 at Sharp around Hagan. So Gaiman making his final pit stop of the night. Obviously thought the tires were cooked. Had to make one stop anyway. Elected to take it now. Again, we know Wygen and Jones are good to go to the finish. Height and Sharp. Obviously Sharp looking to be on poise, maybe to take the lead when all cycles through. They are a bit of a question mark. They came in on lap 22 respectively. And knowing how long a stint is on tires, fuel, we can get probably the max 12, 13 laps. That's going to get both those drivers respective to 34 and 35. Question is, can they make it? There's Dean Clavitt currently in 15th. Could possibly get 14th here as Bobby Blowers has made a pit stop here. Ode just got something. Sorry to kind of cut off that battle there. Ode, I just saw his truck get mounted by someone. I think he got clipped Roberg. And Roberg was, yeah, let's see here, because I saw him get some air while I was watching Hagan, and the trick pie was Roberg, and yep, that's the situation. He lost in front of Roberg. Roberg obviously know where to go, and yeah, Roberg going to feel the effects of that on the front. So 9 to go. As drivers couldn't make pit stops, Alfred Denny in. Alyssa Pell, T-Sharp was not in. Just had a quick little lag out. Trout, though, is in. So second place coming on in with 8 to go. That will hand Sharp second position. Alfred Denny, I've said, also in. Patrick Oberstadt, Dale Markowski. Obviously, Markowski on a damage clock here. Not too much. There's Roberg, obviously electing to come in here and fix up the front end. Kelly Height, obviously going long. So at the moment, it's going to be Rodriguez, Sharp, Hagan, Height, your top 4. Question is, Trout should come out and keep 5th position as Gaiman is not close to jump him. As Gaiman had a slow stop to fix damage anyway, so Trout will come out decently in 5th. To the point you love in road courses when strategies play out and you see exactly how it all works out here. There's Pacey Wygen, currently in 8th position, going to try to jump Roberg here, and will successfully do so. So Wygen up to 8th, Roberg after his little trivets in the pits, now down to 9th. Right now, I'm kind of getting some calls here, at least looking at there. I looked at my timing and scoring. Sorry for the silence there, but Sharp had a D-seed for a second there for about a good 5 seconds right now. She got back in line, but she was gone at least a couple seconds here. Obviously, here's Roberg and Wygen fighting. But right now, there's questions on Sharp's internet, too. So right now, Sharp, obviously, currently in second position, looking to take the lead when Rodriguez pits, because the internet can't hold. She's racing against the internet right now, it seems. And Joel Rodriguez is in, so this is going to be a race leader when she comes out the bus stop here. Hagan should probably follow suit here. Looks like Hagan is staying out, so Hagan will stay out one more lap here. As we see Sharp take the race lead, we'd like to thank anyone that's tuning in here on this Tuesday evening for the ABN 1 on the Daytona Beach 125 for the HTL Hammer Down Truck Series. I'm Kevin Young, joining the booth here with Stix Pulsatrix, who is operating the cameras, providing some great shots you're seeing right now as the sun sets here at Daytona Beach, the virtual sun. Alyssa Pell, Sharp, obviously in the race lead at the moment. There's question mark. She has another little blink there. Will she come back in time, or is that bad? Still no sign of her yet. She's back, it looks like. I think. Yep, she's back. That's going to get sketchier and sketchier as this run goes on. Problem is, Joe Rodriguez is only 4 seconds behind this battle here. He obviously took fuel, 2 tires only for his stop. We've got a nice little zoom in on John Hagan here. Hagan obviously has to pit again. Joe Rodriguez has got enough fuel packed in the car. And Kelly Height currently in third. So right now how it's going to cycle out at the moment, when Hagan makes his pit stop, you got Sharp, who's looking to try to get to the end. Joel Rodriguez, who's currently in second, dominated the majority of this race. Good to go to the end as well. And Callie Height, who's another question mark on making the finish. She'd take the last step of the podium at the moment. But there's questions on the 3 and 31 making it to the finish. If something were to happen to Sharp and Height and John Hagan pitting, Trout and Gaiman would take the next 2 stops to the podium, bearing obviously Hagan maybe taking a 2-tire or fuel-only stop. So it will be... I was about to see how it all plays out, I guess you can say. But gap is closing. Joe Rodriguez is running faster times. We'll see this time by to see how respective they're running. Hagan in, so that's going to hand Rodriguez second. Across the line, Sharp runs a 1:58.58. Joe Rodriguez runs, I think he was on a pit lap there, so this next lap will be more indicative of to see what Rodriguez has in that car. Game on for the race win, possibly here. Joe Rodriguez has dominated the night. Got 1 truck ahead of him. Obviously, they're going to catch a bit of lap traffic here. As you can see on that wide shot right there on Sharp. Looks like it's Alfred Denny and a few others here. Here's Frazier and Zier. Not Frazier and Zier. Frazier and Wygant. Had a missed call there. Luckily, it's Wygant and Frazier here fighting. Zier is just behind in 11th. But it looks like Wygant holding strong at the moment. Gap is close, though. Obviously, again, Wygant trying to go to the finish. Frazier has slightly better tires here. There's Lloyd Frazier. Oh, gets in the back of the 00. And she will loop it. She'll get it going. Luckily, no pressure. There's Zier, speaking of Lilac Zier. And now the battle is going to be Frazier and Zier, as they'll now fight for the top 10. Nice little onboard shot of Lilac Zier. Maybe a bit rejuvenized here at the moment. As sun begins to set here, Zier going to try to get a run through the bus stop. Alyssa Pelletier Sharp coming through the last couple corners here, looking to take 5 to go, but Rodriguez is coming. It's got it down to 1.3. Across the line, we'll check the lap times. Now down with under a second. This is going to be a flyer for Rodriguez, I'd assume. 1:58 for Sharp, 1:57 for Rodriguez. 1.585 and a 1.574. Now 5.704. Just showing almost in the 156 bracket. Joel, though, gets a little squirrely off X here. Now they've caught some traffic, though. Little lockup, though, for Sharp. Again, how aggressive is Rodriguez going to be here on Sharp? Obviously, knowing there's a bit of connection issues with the 31 and the same point lap traffic, you don't want to force, but it looks like the race for the lead's going to happen now. The 9 going to have the inside, 31 going to pinch a little bit there. Still side by side, 9 not letting off yet. Still side by side, 31 will hold now, but the 9 not going to be too thrilled that door closed, but also that 9, aggressive move there to try to get around. Does not want to wait around to find out here. Going to have a run the inside here. How aggressive is the bus stop. They're going to get around the lap down car, the 94 Pendel. You can see the 88 of Oberstadt going to pull lowest side as well. Both going to get out of this battle here. This is for what will be the lead of the race and presumably the win, depending how it plays. Joel possibly going to go higher on the bus stop. Bait and switch to the low side here. Going to lunge aggressively. Oh, they do touch fenders. Side by side. Rodriguez going to cut through the bus stop. Going to have to give up that time. Still keeping his foot in it. Sharp back through. We'll see what they think about that, the iRacing penalty board and the stewards. That was a lot of time gained by that 9. 31 going to answer around the high side here, going to the bus stop. This is allowing Height and Track to catch a bit. Sharp going to get around. Rodriguez going to check out the time here, not wanting to face the wrath of the stewards. 4 to go. Sharp holding it on defensively here. Rodriguez knows he's got a faster truck here with the tires, wants to make this move here. High side, still can't get around, gonna try to bait and switch low side, almost clipped the tires for his troubles. Rodriguez, Sharp, oh Sharp, Rodriguez can't hold station. Still side by side, switching in, now gonna try to make the move properly here. Sharp still not giving it, it's just banging doors. Think that's gonna be Rodriguez, still can't get the proper exit. Sharp still there. 4 to go, still side by side. Sharp obviously not getting an inch, has the favor for this corner. Rodriguez is gonna favor the next one. Rodriguez still on the fender there. Gonna go deep into the corner, trying to hold it. Obviously Sharp gonna give a little more space here. Rodriguez not gonna get bullied. Next corner does favor Sharp though. Sharp not going away. Sharp gonna hold it. Rodriguez though gonna do the switchback, can't get it done. Sharp still holding for the time being. Rodriguez down the inside, gets a little loose off exit. By the way, I'm not 100%, Sticks is bringing up a good point. I'm not 100% how Sharp is doing this. Rodriguez is only on 2 tires. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting battle. Remember, Height's only 3 seconds back. They keep fighting. Height's there in the distance as well. Trout is 7 back. Joel cannot make a move here. Going to get right on the apex of the line there. Basically going to hound the 31 into a mistake. Oh, that Six may have just gave Sharp commentary's curse there, even though it wasn't heard. 31 to 9, gonna fight hard here side by side. 9 should have the favor through the bus stop. Oh, Joel, it's gonna favor the 31. Will the 9 leave space? He will, but he goes too deep. He'll have to give that time up. 9 gonna hold, switch around. The 31 will take it back. Joel Rodriguez is wondering what I have to do to make this battle work. By the way, Callie Height 2 seconds back now. She is going to join the fray. That's Richard O'Day. There's Callie Height. Little tap there by the 9. 9 can't get the switchback. They are fighting hard here. I'm running out of syllables to say. Sharp is basically making that car wide. She's doing what she needs to do. Joel trying to push that thing around here. He can't get the run he needs. And if you like this 2-car battle, Callie right there in the distance, ready to make a 3. Again, Joel may have to back it up, be a bit more methodical here. Kind of let it play out here. Gonna go for another lunge here. Not there, gonna tap the 31. 31 around, 9 through, 3 gonna get through as well. And 9 is spotted as well. That's gonna give the spot to the 3. There's Joel Rodriguez. Maybe you could call it. Yes, Joel also spun. He lost on the corner. That's gonna allow Callie Height the lead with 3 seconds to Trout. Sharp and Rodriguez went from battling for the lead of this race, now looking to try to fight for the podium here. Joel 10 back. Try to say maybe been a bit more methodical, but he went aggressive there. So now Callie Height, who was... So we're going to take a look at that replay here. Obviously, a few drivers not happy with Joel's standings here tonight, and the aggression is showing here. So we'll see again what exactly happened. You can see Joel, I was wondering, maybe he should be more methodical, build up to a run here, and he sees a hole similar to the previous 2 laps. He decides to send it. Just do a nice slowdown shot here. And just a tap right there. Sharp was right there on the line. Rodriguez then goes through. I just see a highlight not slowed down by the 31 spinning. And then maybe in a sense of maybe Sharp throwing out some karma vibes. The 9 gets loose on his own regard and loses it as well. And spins it around. That allows Callie Height, who was not even a distant third. Now she's actually in though. So she's making her final pit stop. That's going to promote DJ Trout to the lead. And now it makes me, I was kind of pointing that thought out earlier. Can Height and Sharp make it to the finish? And it looks like the answer to the question was no. They both did not make it, so they were fighting just to hope that something could happen. That's going to promote DJ Trout to the lead of this race. A driver that was 9 seconds back when we were watching Sharp and Rodriguez fight. And now Trout 6 clear of Rodriguez. And remember, they both took 2 tires. Can he hang on? He's got the fuel. Can he get the tires to last here? Okay, after those last couple laps, Trout is saving whatever he has. He has a 6.8 second gap. He does not need to push. He is saving what he needs to save. Even if he underfueled the car, he's making sure this thing successfully gets here. He's had a race all into his lap, basically speaking. He's had a great run. He's had speed in that 44. He's put himself in spots to get him in this situation. But right now, making sure that 44 gets across the line here. There's the 88 mowing the grass. Successfully re-enter. There's the 9, Joel Rodriguez. Wondering what's gone wrong here. He was cruising for a race win, was battling the 31 hard. And next thing you know, he's now 7 seconds back as DJ Trout's got one more bus stop to navigate here, and he'll be ready to start the white flag lap of this race. Through the bus stop successfully, saving what he needs to save. And as the flagman's got the white flag in the air, 1 lap to go here on ABN1. Not much lap traffic ahead for DJ Trout. He's got 1 car ahead. It's Alfred Denny. About a 2-second gap between the two of them right there. You just saw him flash on the screen. Successfully navigating through the corners here. KCL is also up the road here as well. Just to show you the gap right there, that white truck, that is DJ Trout. And you can see Joe Rodriguez even further back there. 8 seconds is the gap. There's even a chance Gaiman could catch Rodriguez on fresh tires here. Could change up the battle for second. There's Callie Height trying to get around John Hagan. That is currently for 4th position. Remember, Height and Sharp both pitted with 2 to go here. Fresh tires trying to carve through here to get back in the top 5. Back to our race lead. KCL is going to stay high to the wall here. Not going to interfere with DJ Trout. They got 2 bus stops to navigate. Here's Callie Height, John Hagan fighting for 4th position. Back to Trout. He's got 1 more corner to navigate, as we'll stay to this coverage to the end. You could say Trout got a bit lucky, but as a wise man once said, sometimes you got to put yourself in a good position to make that luck pay off. He was a little bit distant, but he put himself in the spot, had a good run all day, has only led 2 laps, but he's going to lead the most crucial laps. DJ Trout wins the Daytona Beach 125 here at Daytona. Joel Rodriguez going to come home. As you see right here, Callie Height successfully gets around John Hagan. Looks like Hagan may have had an incident. He's down to 8th. We'll have to take a look at that before the race ends here. But Callie Height going to come around outside of 4th. Rodriguez 2nd. Gaiman 3rd. Height going to come home here in 4th. Rober going to try to challenge for top 5. But it's going to be Height, Sharp, then Roberg, your top 6 here as the rest begin to file through. But DJ Trout, again, hat tip to the person. He made it work aggressively. Again, fast truck, showed it. Just needed a little bit of help to get back into contention. And he got what he needed to do with the battle between Sharp and Rodriguez. And once he got it, he didn't look back. So I assume that 44 is one happy driver right now at the moment. Obviously a long way to go before we get to the start-finish line as we still wait for the rest of the cars to cross the finish line here. Just to finish up the top 10, it's Roberg, Hagan, Jones, Frazier, Wygen. Nice little zoom shot there just to show you the cars go around here. So we'll do the results here as we obviously will see if Trout, well obviously don't go anywhere, top 3 interviews will coming up shortly here, but we'll do a quick results. We've got the results here as we see Trout get around and do his burnout. So Trout takes the win in this race. Joe Rodriguez, strong truck all night, will bring home second. Josh Gaiman third. Kelly Height fourth. Alyssa Peltier Sharp fifth. Height and Sharp played a perfect strategy there. Was able to get back in the top 5. Roberg sixth. Hagen seventh. Looks like he may have had an incident with Height of some sorts or lost in his own. Not 100%. He will fall down to 7th, though, after battling for 4th in the end. Byron Jones 8th. Frazier 9th. And Wygent, your top 10 here. Jones and Wygent also playing the same strategy as Height and Sharp, but making it to the finish and getting a top 10 for the Troubles. And there, DJ Trout took one extra lap to get around here, but he is now going to officially burn it down in the lightstuff.gg or lightstuff.com machine here. Going to celebrate hard here like it's no tomorrow. Nice little onboard shot just to show you how much he's spinning. I'll park up to the front here. Yeah, I think he's going to go till it explodes here. The 3 at Cali Height will also join too. Give a little tap, just a little light, little love tap there. And there's Sharp too, ready to join the fray. All 3 very happy with each other here. So again, like I said when they were coming across the line, again, sometimes luck is a weird thing. If you put yourself in a good spot, though, and you run a good race, sometimes luck will smile on you. And it did find DJ Trout tonight, as they will take the win here at Daytona Beach. So as Six pulls us behind the curtain here for a second to fix the camera here, as Trout does a few extra spins, we'll see. We'll see if we can get the top 3 here in a second here with our top 3 of the finishing results here. Let's confirm that was again. It's Trout, Rodriguez, and Gaiman. And using a 1, 2, 3, I'm deciding who we should start with first here. Actually, I'm going to we'll bring in Gaiman first. We'll let DJ Trout kind of have their moment in the cool down room here. So we'll end up going 3, 2, 1 here tonight. We'll get Gaiman, Rodriguez, and Trout if all 3 are available here on the moment. So we'll bring in Josh Gaiman here, and we'll start off this interview properly.
Second bus stop.
Oh, sorry to pull you in. Looks like you're in the middle of a conversation here, but Josh Gaiman, this is Kevin in the ABM booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
All righty. Well, that was a very interesting finish to the race right there. But first, we'll start at the very beginning. Obviously, you had a great qualifying run. So obviously, some drivers obviously struggle going around road courses. Obviously, the amount of times I've watched you drive in many different series, you've been very strong at road courses. So I'm not going to say you weren't feeling confident tonight, but how did you feel out there with the road course? Did you think you were feeling good tonight?
Yeah, I was definitely feeling confident. I love the truck on road courses. It's so silly, you know. It's just all over the place, even with, you know, after the rework and everything with the tracks and all that. I'm not really sure if it applies to this track specifically, but if it does, it's definitely sketchy to drive this thing around here. Probably not the most fun combination. You know, I've definitely driven more fun things around this track. But yeah, it was just a matter of, you know, trying to stay out of the way of the people who don't know where the metal pedal is.
Mm-hmm. And that will actually bring us to our next question here. We obviously saw you were up there competitively close, and then obviously you had a little tap in with Joel Rodriguez. So kind of take us through the incident here tonight. You had a few run-ins with some other drivers. So was it maybe a bit of a non-respect situation, or were you a bit like just drivers pushing for everything they could find? What was the driving standards out there like tonight?
Yeah, it was definitely a dive bomb from like a, you know, truck and a half back, and he just didn't feel like giving any room, or, you know, just taking the lump and maybe getting me in turn 1. I don't know. He definitely wasn't patient all night because he didn't win the race, so that's fine by me. You know, the deserving driver won, in my opinion. I think DJ was the cleanest truck on track all night. Me and him didn't really get into it. I had the left rear damage, obviously, and I just couldn't keep up. He had a super good pace, so that was good to see. But you know, yeah, definitely the truck that won, the truck that deserved to win won.
Mm-hmm. Next question obviously will be strategies, because we saw obviously Wygent and Jones, they tried a 2-sub drive to make it work. We obviously saw Height and Sharp try to make that work and came 2 laps short. Obviously, we saw you kind of after the first stint say, we're pitting 2 more times here. So I guess, were you even contemplating maybe making it on 1 more stop after lap 10, or were you fully content to making it on 2 extra stops?
Yeah, I was about 50-50 on it at the beginning of the race. After that first run, I only got, I think it was like 11 laps or something like that. And I was like, well, that doesn't equal 35, you know, if you do that twice. So I pit a little early there. I think, I can't remember who I pit behind, but they went in, and I was like, okay, this is where I got to do it. And of course, that's when I found out I had the damage. I was just like, all right, well, let's just try to do the triple stop and just put as much pace in it as I could, because I was going to have better tires throughout the long run. And yeah, it worked out. Luckily, I was able to get on the podium. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you made that long strategy work here, and you made it work nicely. Obviously, you were battling Trout for most of the race, and both of you ended up getting on the podium, so hat tip to that. Last question here, obviously, we have the week off next week, and then afterwards, we are going to a new... Actually, we don't have the week off next week. We're here on Tuesday. My mistake. So on the 26th, I have to get my own calendar updated here. How do you feel about New Hampshire? Do you feel like it's a track that you'll feel strong in this truck? You think you could be competitive?
Yeah, New Hampshire's a fun track. I haven't driven in the truck in a really, really long time. The last time I raced it was probably in the Cup car. So, I mean, I know that's a heck of a lot different now than it used to be. But, yeah, I mean, it's a fun track. I really enjoy that. Those big, like, flat 1 mile tracks are always, they always put on a show. So, hopefully we can run good.
Fair enough. Obviously, we've come to the portion you know quite well. Is there anyone you want to shout out? People, Paps, family, friends, sponsors, what have you? The floor is yours. Take it away, Josh, with your third place finish.
Yeah, this week, well, I guess I'll give a little bit of a different shout out. All the guys at, CBR, Carolina Beagle Racing, they let me run this truck. I think that's I think that's what I'm driving for. There's a bunch of us that just, all kind of mingle around, and with Jeremy being kind of parked and sidelined, with some silliness from him. I was fortunate enough to be put in this truck. Don't know where I'll be in the next coming weeks after he comes back, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on there. Shout out McConey Setup Shop, 213 somewhere, W Energy. Running a little bit of a different paint scheme, but we're running for a different team too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just how it is sometimes. But yeah, always shout out to them for riding along with me.
You made a great job filling in for the 51 in need, and hopefully we do see another competitive truck next week. But but that is that. You have a good rest of your week and a good holiday weekend, and hopefully we'll see you being competitive next week on Tuesday in New Hampshire.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, take care.
Yep.
So that will move us nicely onward to, obviously, I don't see Joe Rodriguez in the interview section, so we will now take to our race winner here. DJ Trout, we'll bring him on in here, and obviously he's going to be quite thrilled what happened, so we'll bring him on in. DJ, this is Kevin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Probably very happy to be talking to me right now in the situation you're in. But before we get to your results on the finish here, we will start at where all stories go at the beginning. And you had a relatively good qualifying. Got in the second row here, but it seemed like in the opening, since you were maybe the fourth fastest truck out there, it seemed like you didn't have as much speed in comparison to Rodriguez, Gaiman, and Hagan. So what was kind of going... Obviously, you picked up your pace as the race went on. So how did you feel knowing that you had a strong truck, but you had to find that little extra tenths to try to get that a little faster to get up there and compete for the win?
Well, I mean, like you said, I obviously had a fast truck. At the beginning there, I was trying to save, actually. Save tires, save fuel, because I've done a bunch of these road course races in stock cars, and it always comes down to tire wear. So tried to do that as much as I could. Once I found out I was in second and everything, I started to pick up the pace. And I think if it wasn't for Lily there, on lap, I think 33, I wouldn't be where I was. So just got a lucky break right here. But yeah, I knew I had a fast truck and I thought I could do something with it. And it turns out I could.
Mm-hmm. You made it quite indeed. You had one of the, as Joshua Gaiman said in the previous interview section, you had one of the cleanest trucks out there. A lot of trucks had battle scars, damage, wounds, and yet your car looked picture perfect until the burnout at the very end. Obviously, though, speaking of Josh Gaiman, you had a lot of good battles there for second. As we saw after Rodriguez got a little bit away, you were having a good fight there with Gaiman, and you showed a lot of respect to each other. So kind of take us through that battle with Gaiman. How did it feel out there? Were you having as much of a fun battle as it seemed like we were watching?
I think it was more of an anxiety-filled battle than it was fun, but yeah, going into battle with Josh, he races more truck races than I do, so I just wanted to race him as clean as possible. But yeah, I went into, I believe that was the International Horseshoe that I made that pass in, and I don't know if I came up or he came down, but as soon as we got together, I didn't know if it was my fault or not, but yeah, battling with Josh is fun. I have a lot of fun racing with him. I have a lot of respect for him, so I wanted to race him as clean as possible.
Mm-hmm. Next question, obviously, will come to this point here. And obviously, we saw some drivers elect to go try to make a two-stop strategy work. Obviously, you were in the camp of the drivers that made the three-stop strategy work. And like you said, tires were very important. And after the first stint, I asked Josh this question. I'll ask you the same one. Did you think about maybe trying to make it on one more stop? Or do you think that ship sailed after you came in for your first pit stop?
Actually, once, or on lap, I believe 20, once I saw Joel kind of come in for his stop, I just made up my mind there, saying if I'm not gonna have enough fuel, I'm going to have to come in again. So I just followed Joel's lead there, and I really never have a plan going into these. So it really just came down to in a moment kind of thing. But that last pit stop, I actually ended up taking 2 tires, so I could be a little bit faster on the corners where the right sides prevailed.
Mm-hmm. And it definitely paid out there quite nicely. Again, you put yourself in a spot where luck could shine on you. I got 2 more questions actually comes to mind. Obviously, again, take us to those last couple laps there. Obviously, again, you were a little bit of a distant fourth when Sharp and Rodriguez were battling, and then Height was obviously ahead of you too. And then obviously things kind of played out for you. So kind of take us through those couple laps when you saw the chaos in front of you when first Sharp and Rodriguez came to blows, and then obviously Cali Height pitting give you the race lead, and then eventually the win.
Well, when actually Caleb Carter, the person who drives the 44 truck, when he told me that they were battling, I got very competitive. So obviously I'm competitive the whole way, but I raced as hard as I could. I put the truck on the edge, and it managed to stick. And then once Rodriguez and Sharp got together, and I saw Rodriguez spin to the grass, I'm like, okay, all I have to do is go catch Height. I wasn't expecting her to pit, so you could actually ask my spotter, Caleb Carter. I yelled as loud as I could, "Oh my God, she's pitting! I actually have a chance now!" So that really surprised me, but it was really just the last 5 laps of this race were very anxiety-filled for me.
Yeah, no, it definitely, you tell you how much even Six was bringing up too, of how you were just backing down the corners, you were just making sure your car successfully got home, and well, it paid off quite nicely. One more question, obviously, New Hampshire next week at Tuesday on the 26th. How do you feel about New Hampshire? Do you think, obviously you were kind of filling in on the 44 here, or at least driving the 44 for Caleb Carter here a bit, but how do you feel about New Hampshire as a whole?
That's actually one of my favorite tracks.
Oh.
And I actually spot for Caleb, so I'll definitely be at the race, just spotting for actually all the stepping stone. So I'll try to give Caleb as much pointers as I possibly can to try to help him get a successful victory at New Hampshire.
Okay. Maybe it'll work. Maybe we'll see back-to-back for the 44. It looks like the fill-in drivers have done quite strong here tonight. Obviously, last question. Actually, not last question. Obviously, since you are new here, if there's anyone you want to thank, sponsors, family, friends, what have you, the floor is yours. Take it away, and congrats on your victory.
Thank you guys for broadcasting. Thank you to my grandparents for all the support. They watch every single race that is broadcasted that I'm in. And a big shout out to Stepping Stone Motorsports. I wouldn't be filling in right now if it wasn't for everyone in Stepping Stone. And yeah, thank you to Caleb also, because me and Caleb, we race a lot outside of league races, and thank you to him for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, with Hampshire obviously be spotting, but I'll be blunt with you. If Caleb Carr can get that car into victory lane, I'll make sure I bring you, or the podium, I'll bring you in here as well, so you both can enjoy the moment. But
awesome.
Yeah, other than that, though, congrats on your victory, and you have a good rest of your holiday weekend, and hopefully we'll be talking to you sometime in the future.
Thank you. You too.
Mm-hmm. And that will take us nicely to that. And normally don't do this, but I'm kind of curious to see how they react to this. So we're gonna have one more interview, as Joe Rodriguez, obviously not here present tonight. We are going to bring in our 4th place finisher here, Cali Height, and why not? We'll bring Elizabeth Peltier Sharp in here, as they'll provide us some good insight of what happened those last couple laps. So we'll bring both of them in right now. Callie and Alyssa, this is Kevin the Booth. You got a copy.
Hello. Yes.
I'm filling your request here of having a quick interview here, so we do have an opening. So brought you both in here to kind of give us some insight about this race as well. Obviously, we'll start off with, again, the race with qualifying at the very least. And obviously, both of you, qualifying-wise, you had okay actually, not okay. You kind of started a little bit back, but you elect to kind of start in the back, too. And you carved right for the field. So was starting further back a choice and trying to get upwards? Or what was the game plan for being a little bit further back, I guess?
Starting further back was a failure. Starting back, we both had bad qualifying laps. I set a time, but it was poor. My outlap was 1 second green, and then my actual lap was 3 seconds in the red. So not a great qualifying time. And then Lily, I believe, did not set a valid time for whatever reason. So ultimately, the qualifying was not an intentional strategy call. It was just a failure to lay down one good lap. I was nervous coming to the start of the race, obviously knowing that cars ahead of me are slower than me, and cars behind me are, who knows. But it was a clean 3 laps, so I was able to carve through and make up to 10th or so in the first few laps, first 5 or so, 5-6 laps. I'm not sure, I can't remember. I was in good position early on, and Lily caught up with me, and we kind of just vibed through. Yeah. Didn't do much racing. We raced a few cars inside of their pit windows, our pit windows. We were managing to extend about 2 laps on our pit window on most of the other cars, the exception of Byron and Pacey, who were going at a pace I wouldn't classify as racing. But aside from that, everyone else was significantly, they were about 2 laps down on the fuel run. So coming into the final stint, we short fueled, had 2 or so lap better tires than everyone else, and just tried to race the car best we could. A few coming togethers here and there. Lily had a brief incident with Joel, who then had a brief incident with Karma. I had a brief incident with Hagen, which is reminiscent of our first time at this track in round 2 of the Cup Series this season. He did it a bit early. Last time was in the NASCAR chicane. He hit me too early, but it's fine. I still came out on top.
Well, you answered a lot of the questions I was going to ask. Alyssa, anything you want to throw in on that too? Any comments you want to make? Because obviously we were watching in the booth you having a very strong battle with Joe Rodriguez. You were basically making that truck as wide as you needed to make it, and you were holding on. And even to the point where Styx was even kind of wondering how you were making that happen. So any comments you want to throw out there too?
Callie just telling me to do my best and fend Joel off as hard as I could. Managing to do that and surprisingly managing to handle being hit quite a few times very well. The truck was trying to spin on me there, but also just having Callie actually, Callie does provide good advice, and I know sometimes in the past I haven't listened, but this time I'd listen, and it works. So actually, it was one of the most fun races I've had in a while, to be completely honest.
Yeah, no, same here. This was a lot of fun. These trucks are incredible to wheel around a road course. They're very loose, which not everyone quite vibes with. I like a loose race car. I don't like a tight race car. I can control a rear end getting a little loosey-goosey a lot more than I control a front end trying to put me in the wall.
That's different driving styles for different folks, and obviously it's worked out for both of you quite nicely. Obviously, New Hampshire being next week, if both of you are going to be there, how do you both feel about New Hampshire? Do you think it's a track where you can both be strong? I think Lily is good at these flat 1 mile ovals, so how do you both feel about it?
Well, as it turns out, we live in a country where we have celebrations on the 26th, so Lily will not be here. I believe Kevin will be running the 31 as of next Tuesday. I, however, will be at family who have, my cousin also has a simulator. I may run, I may not run. It depends on how much I've been drinking.
Yeah, it's not good to drink and drive, but if you do not are able to make it, hope you have a good holiday, both for your respectives at the very least. Make sure you have.
It's not the drink driving you need to be concerned of. It's the drink crashing.
Yeah. Quite indeed. Obviously, though, as obviously it is tradition, even though you guys both did not finish on the podium, both of you were driving hard on the podium. So again, for both of you, any sponsors, family, friends, what have you want to thank, floor is yours. Take it away in the spirit of giving.
Well, as a part of Lady Liberty Motorsports, we have the Sewer Bros, Drain Experts, and Groundscapers Yard Maintenance to thank as supporters and sponsors of the team. And we have obviously Kevin Gibney to thank himself, Kevin Gibney Jr. to thank for funding all of this. You know, these are his cars, this is his team. We're trying to do him proud, do the team proud. The trucks team hasn't necessarily had such a good running compared to the Cup team this season. So happy to finally have some good results for him, for the sponsors, and for the team. I just want to say hello, and thank you to Katie for always supporting me in these races.
That's always nice. Anything you want to add, Alyssa? Anyone else you want to thank? That was Callie. I've said some words. Alyssa, you want to say anything else?
Well, Callie listed off the sponsors, which is good because I can't remember them. But my dad's photography company for allowing me to put his logos on the truck. Callie as well for just giving me tips and just telling me to focus on myself, which for once I listened to. Kevin as well for putting me in this truck, and just everyone at Lady Liberty.
Fair enough. So obviously both of you ladies enjoy the holiday, and hopefully if we don't, obviously neither of us see you in New Hampshire, hope we'll see you at the following week's race and you can put on a show there. So enjoy the holiday and you both take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that will finish it up that for interviews. So we'll take one more quick look at the finishing results here, and then I think we'll be ready on our way to sign off here. Those will take 1 second to pull those up here. Here we go. DJ Trout obviously got the victory here in a thrilling fashion. Joe Rodriguez will finish second, and Josh Game will round out the podium. Then Callie Height and Alyssa Pelletier-Sharp will round out the top 5. Then you got Martin Roberg, John Hagan, Byron Jones, Lily Frazier, and Pacey Wygant making up the top 10. Jones and Wygant making that alternate strategy work to a treat. Lilac Zier will get 11th. Jonathan Adams with his little extraditional activities will still get the top 15. Mark Parkhurst 13th. Dean Clavin 14th. And Alfred Denny will be the last truck on the lead lap, finishing the top 15. Then Christopher Patentel, Bobby Flowers, Angel Santiago, Michael Saccone, and Patrick Oberstadt will round out the top 20. Austin Mongold and Zach McBride will be the last of the drivers, one down, 21st to 22nd. Casey Ellis will finish 23rd. Dale Markowski, 24th. Richard O'Day, 25th. Stefan Oberstadt, 26th. And then we get into the drivers that ended up retiring. Ruby Estes, Eli Sasick, Olivia Hammond, Scott J. Ponzensky will round out your top 30. And Tristan Baer will not take the flag and will finish 31st. And that will do it for that. Obviously, as Christmas is next Monday, HTL Cup Series has that race off. They will be back the following week. As for the trucks, though, the series keeps on kicking. You'll see us here next Tuesday here on ABN1 for New Hampshire here at normal start time of 8:15. We'll see them race on the short track and see how it all changes out and fights out as we're itching closer to the chase, which at the end of the road course, including New Hampshire, we have 4 more rounds until the chase begins. But that will do it for that. I am Kevin Young, obviously joined by the lovely Styx Pulsatrix, who is operating the cameras. A treat here tonight. That will be all, so thank you, and have a good rest of your night.